During my campaign for sheriff, I realized that mental health was a very important issue and a hot topic, not only here in St. Tammany, but throughout our country. And I wanted to create this crisis intervention team. I myself went through the training and learned from the San Antonio, Texas model, which is known throughout the country as being very successful. And once their program was up and running, it's been established for about 8 years, they're saving that county, Bexar County, Texas, $8 million a year in taxpayer savings by initiating this type of program. Of course, we're on a smaller scale, but there is a need here, just like there is across our country.
I think that on the sheriff's part, this represents a paradigm shift where he recognizes that the calls that sometimes deputies respond to as disturbance calls or petty larceny are actually a manifestation of mental illness. And by having these specially trained deputies on the crisis intervention team, instead of taking that person into custody and transporting them to a jail where, again, they're not in the optimal resource for the underlying problem of their mental illness, it helps to identify people with mental illness and then get them transported to a place that they can get help for their underlying problem.
We have a high suicide rate here in St. Tammany. We also have an opioid problem as well. So we're seeing overdoses, an increase in the number of suicides. That's why I wanted to create this team, to get out in the community and provide assistance and get people help before the last result.
It's a dysfunction of the brain and the chemicals in the brain, and it can be lethal. And people die from mental illness, and it's a preventable death. So if they get into a care system with the appropriate medications and talk therapy, then that can save a life. And I think that the CIT are the first step in that, in recognizing people who have predominantly mental illness, and they have a potential not only to save a lot of money in wasted incarceration dollars, but to save lives by getting people plugged into the right system, not the judicial system, the healthcare system.
We've seen local and celebrities, national celebrities, take their own lives. And what we have to do as leaders here in St. Tammany Parish is make a difference, do whatever we can to help. And that's why I created this crisis intervention team, to be out there, have the resources, have the availability to get people help when they call and need it.
You know, I congratulate the sheriff for having the foresight to establish the CIT team. It's a critical part of the whole mental health system, and when we can stop diverting patients with mental health complaints to emergency rooms and jails, then the taxpayer is going to see relief, and the individual has a much higher chance of successful treatment and not being a return customer and hopefully staying out of this office altogether.